Welcome to the Wednesday practice. The aim is for this to feel fluid, but also fun in your body. To move any stagnation out of the body, depending on how you've been holding yourself. And it's important that you make any adjustments you need to make. So it'll be a little bit of a more faster pace, more in line with the Friday evening and the NUIG class. But it's open to everybody. You pull it back, you rest when you need to, and have a go at postures maybe you haven't practiced before, and just see how they feel in your body. So coming to Malasana to begin with the knees nice and wide, and big toes to touch. And finding any supports that you need for your forehead. If it doesn't comfortably come to the ground, then use your arms, you stack them one on top of the other, or you make two little fists and you stack those two. Otherwise, it's extended child's with the arms out in front, forearms to the ground, forehead to the ground. And with your eyes closed, see if you can let the forehead really sink to the ground. And this is a time when we bring more of our awareness, more inside, more internal. Begin to slow down, maybe in an active mind. And then with that internal gaze, use your mind's eye and feel through your body in this position. Feel into your hips, your knees, tops of your feet, your shoulders, or wherever your attention wants to go to. How does it feel there? Physically, how does your body feel right now? And then feeling for where in your body you feel your breath. How are you breathing right now? What is the quality, the texture, the speed, the frequency, the depth of your breath? Bringing your breath down into the belly. With the knees nice and wide, feel the belly expand as you breathe in, belly draws in as you breathe out. An expansion as you inhale, a release and softening as you exhale. And then coming up onto your fingertips, making cups with the hands. So the forearms are off the ground. You're drawing your armpits towards the ground, so there's a little bit of freedom in the neck. Bringing the gaze forward, using your breath. As you exhale, bring the gaze down the center of your mat all the way back to your big toes. As you breathe in, bringing the gaze back up through the center of your mat, up to the top of the mat between the hands. And again, exhaling. Inhaling. So it's almost like you're drawing a line of chalk down the center of your mat with your gaze. And then walking your hands over to the right side. You can stay on the fingertips if you wish, or the palms come to the ground. You're pushing the left hand down and forward, left sitting bone back, left hip back. Try not to go too wide. You tend to lose some of the length if you go too wide. Come back up onto the fingertips, walking your hands back to center, and then all the way over to the left. Again, you choose what's right for you, fingertips or palms, forehead to the ground or hovering between the arms. Right fingers or right palm pressing down, right sitting bone drawing back, right hip back. Lifting the forehead, come onto the fingertips, walk back to center. And then come all the way down and just soften, just for a few breaths. Taking the forehead off the ground, come up to kneeling plank. Measure shoulder distance. Knees under hips, shoulders over wrists. Press down into the ground to lift up and bring the shoulders back, looking forward. Lift in the tail, drop in the ribs, looking forward, shoulders back once more. As you press into your hands, lengthen your lower back, lift and widen between the shoulders, hips draw forward. And again, lifting the tail, dropping the ribs, looking forward. Find a rhythm, move at your own pace. Bringing your awareness to your breathing. Which movement are you inhaling? Which movement are you exhaling? As you come into angry cat, really feel your hips drawing forward. Press out to the sides of the hands. So you widen as you lift between your shoulders. And then coming to a neutral spine, tucking your toes under, hips back to heels. Looking back to your knees and on Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. How does this feel right now? First downward facing dog, how does it feel in the back of your legs, your wrists, your shoulders? Bending both knees, keeping the hips nice and high though. And then straighten both legs. And again. Keep the left heel reaching towards the ground, lift the right heel, bend the right knee. Feel the weight on the hands. Can you even the balance of the weight on each hand? Can you lift your right hip so you level the hips? And then swap sides. Right heel reaches towards the ground, left knee bent. We pause here, breathing. Now lift the left hip to level the hips. See that your ears are in line with your inner arms. And then walking now on the spot. From one to the other, from side to side. And then lifting both heels, you're on the balls of both feet. Twist both to the left, right foot to the ground, right leg straight. Look in under the right arm. Push your hands down and forward, hips up and back. Lift the right heel, come back to center, over to the right, left foot to the ground, left leg straight, look in under your left arm. Come back to center. Bringing the knees to the ground to keep the hips drawing back. Come back up to angry cat. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. See that the knees are hip distance. Lift between the shoulders. Lengthen the lower back. Keep the knees where they are, but take the toes back just a little bit. Lift the knees, come onto the balls of the feet. Bring the knees down. Again, lift between the shoulders. Lengthen the lower back, lift the knees. Put more into the legs than you think you need to. Push down into the balls of the feet, out through the heels, lift and widen between the shoulders. Bend the knees, come back to downward facing dog. Lift in the right leg, bring it back and up behind you.
Bend the right knee, bring it in towards the head, take the shoulders forward, pushing back and down into the ball of the back foot. So you come to a version of plank and then extend back and up. And then this time stepping the right foot forward. We're coming up onto the fingertips, onto the thumbs, engaging the back leg. The right knee is directly over the right ankle. And then we're beginning to bounce, a pulsation up and down, up and down, up and down. Now try not to let it be forward and back. It's up and down with the pelvis, up and down with the pelvis. A little bit of lubrication around the joints. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Plant the hand, step back, downward facing dog. And then we're bringing the big toes to touch, taking the left leg up and back, bending the knee as the shoulders come forward, head towards the knee, and then back and up. Bending the left knee, looking forward, stepping forward between the hands. And the same on this side. We line up the knee first, come onto the fingertips and the thumbs. We're looking forward. And again with the pelvis, up and down, up and down. Find a rhythm. Feel your breath. Use the front footprint, pressing into the ground, inner foot, outer foot. And up and down, up and down, up and down. Plant the hand, step back, down dog. And just feel into the legs now. How do they feel? Maybe you want to walk on the spot, maybe come to stillness. Bringing the knees to the ground. Untucking the toes, sliding the hands back to the knees. And once more, coming onto the fingertips. Drawing the shoulders back, the heart forward. So the shape of the spine a little bit like happy cat. And then we'll use the breath. This will be the inhale. As you exhale, curling in. Feel the back of the spine nice and long, front of the body getting a little bit shorter. And inhale, heart comes forward, shoulders down. Now this time we curl in. You have a choice to continue with this, with your breath, keeping the knees on the ground. Otherwise, knees lift off the ground, either halfway or fully head towards the knees. As you inhale, come all the way down. Heart comes forward, shoulders down. Exhale, curling in. Stay or lift. And again, just one more time. Coming forward, tucking the toes under. Little toes tuck under. Bringing the weight back onto the heels. If this is too much, which I know it can be for some of us, we come high up, take that pressure off. Otherwise, keep the hips back. Back of hands together, raise the arms. Extend, bend the elbows. Draw in, back of hands together, raising the arms up. As you extend, you're offering out. As you draw in, receiving in. Fingertips lightly skim the waist, we turn the palms out, back of hands together, last time. We'll bring the hands down. It can be really nice after having the toes tucked under to just pad the tops of the feet out. Tuck the toes, hands back to knees, lift the knees, come onto the balls of the feet. We're coming into Malasana. So your feet will be as wide as the top of your mat. maybe a little bit wider. You can, of course, have a block or a pile of books to sit on to get used to this position, to allow the groins, the inner groins to soften. It's very good for the ankles, the lower back. The elbows are going to come to the inside of the knees. You look at your hands and bring your wrists down so they're in line with your elbows. So the elbows are drawing the knees out, the knees want to draw in, so we have this resistance. That's how we can build strength in our bones, by this resistance. Pressing the feet down, drawing in, tailbone reaching down and forward, shoulders down. Make sure the neck is comfortable. Looking to the left arm, extending the left arm. Keep a connection with the outer left arm, the left inner knee. Raise the right arm and open. Inhale back to center. You use the exhale to come to the right side and open. Inhale back to center. We'll do that once more unless you choose to stay back at center. Bringing the hands down, lifting the hips, turning in the toes, the heels, finding your hip distance, lifting that right heel, turning the right heel out if that's the foot you've turned in, could be your left. Back of hands together, rolling all the way up. The feet press down to lift us up. Interlace the fingers. Pull the palms apart. I'm going to make sure here that you're not sticking out the ribs or the bottom. Bring the ribs in. Hips come forward and up. So we lengthen the lower back. Press down, get a little bit taller. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Looking to your left, lifting your right ribs. Shifting over to the right side. Slowly turn to the right as you extend your arms to the left. All the weight is in the right leg. You could lift that left leg up if you chose. Press down into the ground, come back to center. Turn the palms down. Change the interlace so the other little fingers on the outside. Turn the palms back up. Lengthen the lower back, always before side bending. Look to the right, lift the left ribs. Shift all the weight into your left hip. Turning your head to the left, extend both your arms to the right. Full side bend, pure side bend. Press down into the feet, come back to center. Hands to prayer at the heart, fingertips to touch, elbows wide. Twist into the right. Extend the arms, shoulders down, bring the right hip back. Follow with your gaze all the way to the back of your mat. Left arm stays, right arm forward, right arm under left, hands to shoulders. Binding Garudasana. Elbows come forward, lift up. We're bending the knees, bringing the hips back as if coming down into Utkatasana. Engage the feet, inner balls, inner heels. Press down, press out. Stay looking forward and come forward with a straight spine. Maybe the hips come down a little bit lower. And then chin tucks in, elbows draw in towards the heart. We keep this connection because we're going to curl up, staying close. Press into the feet, hips come forward, lengthen the lower back, and then the middle back, and then the upper back. Hands to shoulders. Slide the hands down to your elbows, down to your forearms, your wrists, your palms, and then pivot the palms together to come back to prayer. Fingers face down, open the hands, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, roll your shoulders out. Bend the knees, raise the heels. And we'll just practice balancing here with the knees bent. Staying as still as feels right now. And then heels down. Bend the elbows, hands to lower back, hands come forward, back to prayer. Elbows wide. Feel the mat underneath the soles of your feet. And feel the footprint of each foot. Inner feet, outer feet, front and back.
Stay looking forward, twist your left. Extend the arms, shoulders down, left hip forward. So we're bringing this left hip forward, so it's the spine that is twisting. There's length in the lower back. And then bring the left hip back. Follow with your gaze all the way to the back of your mat. Different twist now. Right arm stays, left arm forward, left arm under right, hands to shoulders. And once more, we come back into Garudasana. Different, cross elbows forward, lift the elbows up, draw the hands away. Make sure the neck is comfortable. Bend in the knees, hips come back, Utkatasana. And then coming forward. Spine is long.
Chin tucks in, elbow draws in, staying close, supporting yourself as you press your feet down to roll all the way up. Feel the lower back lengthen, middle back, and then upper back. Hands to shoulders. Slide your hands down to your elbows, your forearms, your palms. Hands behind the back once more. So we're opening the front of the body now. This time raising the heels. Let the knees come forward. Stay or come halfway. Or come all the way down. Let the thighs be parallel. Spine nice and long. And then come all the way up. And all the way up onto the balls of your feet, tops of your toes. And then bring in the right heel down, keeping the left heel raised. Bend in the elbows, hands onto lower back, elbows come forward. Back of hands together, raise the arms and the left knee. Open and extend. Thumbs and index fingers touch, roll your shoulders in, left leg out to the side. Internally rotate the left hip, bring it back behind you. And then level the hips, bring the left hip down. Reaching your fingers back, shoulders down. Bend the right knee so you can lift the back leg a little bit higher. You can straighten that right leg, roll the back thigh in, heart forward. Bend the right knee, the left knee comes forward and up. Fingertips touch in front of the shin, then pick up the hands. Stay looking forward, twist your left, extend. Bend the knee, hands to prayer, undo the twist, and down. So we do the same on the other side. Back of hands together, raise the arms and the right knee, open and extend. Roll your shoulders in, right leg out to the side. Internally rotate the right hip, then bring it back. Level the hips, bringing the right hip down. Reaching the fingers back, shoulders down, heart comes forward. Bend the left knees so you can lift the back leg a little bit higher. Then straighten the left leg a little bit more. Roll the back thigh in, heart forward. Bend the left knee, the right knee comes forward and up. Fingertips in front of the shin. Pick the hands up in front of the heart. Stay looking straight ahead, twist to your right and extend. Bend the knee, hands to prayer, undo the twist and down. And then we'll pause briefly with both feet on the ground. Either hands in prayer at the heart or arms down by the side in Tadasana, palms forward. Feel how you are holding ground. Where is the weight on your feet? Do you need to make any changes? Do you need to bring the weight back in towards the heels? We can sometimes be too far forward, just thinking what we need to do, what we need to do next. Too far into the future. So let's see if we can bring the weight back into the heels, but at the same time, feel the fronts of the feet, the balls of the feet, inner and outer. The center back of heels and then inner heels, outer heels. And then feel your weight over the arches of your feet. And that's what we'd call the present.
We're not too far forward into the future, not too far back into the past, but right now in the present. And then slowly bringing the hands to touch at the heart. Bringing the gaze down to the ground in front of you and then forward, and then coming to the top of your mat. Feet, toes facing forward, there's a buoyancy. So if the legs are straight, there's no buoyancy. Yeah. So the knees are bent. This buoyancy, this energy comes up through the legs, into the rest of the body, into the spine, making us more fluid. Back of hands together, raise the arms up. Folding forward. Chin tucks in. Lengthen to look forward. We'll take the right leg back. Just floating the leg, and then looking back, flexing the foot, rolling the back thigh in, looking forward. And then stepping back. Plant the hands, come back to plank. Lift between the shoulders, push down into the balls of the feet, out through the heels. Knees to the ground, untuck the toes. Come all the way down. Taking the hands wide. Either feet stay where they are, legs as they are, you take them a little bit wider. Inhale, come up to a version of Bhujangasana. When you come up, shoulders draw down. And as you exhale, come all the way down. And we'll just do that once more. If your legs are closer together, maybe see what it feels like to take them wide. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. Hands come back by lower ribs, elbows squeeze in, shoulders forward, belly lift. So the upper body is hovering above the ground. Your hips are pressing down. Push up to kneeling plank. Tuck the toes, hips back to heels. Look back to the knees, lift the knees, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Lifting the heels, bending the knees, look forward. Step the left foot forward. And then walk the hands a bit slightly forward. Bend the back knee, come up into a balance, but take the right leg over to the left. You're lifting the left heel, bringing that right foot forward. You're crossing at the shin and the calf. You want both little toes to be together. Right foot behind the left leg and alongside the left foot. Folding forward, chin tucks in. Looking down to the toes. Now you press the feet down and you draw the legs in towards each other. This is your stability. This is your anchor. Back of hands together, rolling up. Bring the forearms to touch, elbows, arms. Reach the arms up and then separate. Bring the palms together, forearms together. And then come all the way down. Chin tucks in. Lengthen to look forward, right leg back, step back, back knee down. Take a moment to line up the front knee with the ankle. Take the back knee off the ground. Sweep the arms back, shoulders down. Interlace the fingers, roll your shoulders out. Bend the back knee, push into the front foot. Lift the upper body away from the thigh. Spine is nice and long. Get nice and bouncy. We're sliding or stepping the back foot forward and up. And then stepping that back. We'll start with the back knee bend, come forward halfway, straighten the back leg, chest to thighs, chin tucks in, raising the arms over the head. Lifting that back heel. So begin with the physical body, find steadiness, find stability. And then bring that same steadiness to your breath. Looking down, bring the hands down, hands come forward, come up into a balance. Look back, roll the back thigh in, look forward, bend the left leg, raise the back leg a little bit higher. Sweeping the arms up and back. Looking down, hands come down, right foot comes down. Folding forward, chest to thighs, chin tucks in. We'll bring the hands to the back of the legs, onto the calves,
Draw the shoulders away from the ears, the armpits back, elbows squeeze in, then slide the hands down to the heels, chin in. Looking down to the toes, press your feet into the ground, back of hand together, rolling all the way up. Hands to heart. We pause briefly. Feel the effects of your practice physically, in your breath, and in your heartbeat. Thumbs at the sternum, the bone of the sternum. Opening the eyes, raise the arms up. Folding forward all the way down. Chin tucks in. Lengthen to look forward, left leg back. Looking back to the left toes, flex the foot, roll the back thigh in, look forward. When you roll the back thigh in, it's the standing leg, the inner leg, that will turn on, that rolling the opposite leg thigh in. Stepping back, plant the hands, keep the shoulders where they are, step back to plank. Knees to the ground, untop the toes. Option now to come all the way down or kneeling chaturanga. Bend the elbows, shoulders and elbows come in line. Pause, push back up. Come forward and down. Again, you choose, you explore in your body where your hands feel good. It could be under the shoulders, could be arms out in front, hands at the sides, off the mat, in line with your shoulders. Feet or legs stay as they are, they get a little bit wider. This can, for some of us, free up the lower back and the sacrum. We get a little bit wider, can be good for the pelvis. Inhale to come up. And exhale down. And again, once more. Hands by lower ribs, elbows squeeze in, shoulders forward, belly lifts. Come up to kneeling plank. This time we'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, full plank. Take a full breath. And then back to downward facing dog. We'll take another breath here. Lifting the heels, bending the knees, get nice and bouncy, look forward, step the right foot forward. Taking the hands further forward, come up into a balance. The left leg comes over to the right. Lift the right heel to bring the left foot forward. This just gives us a little bit of space to get the little toes together. You feel that connection with the calf and the shin, stability. Your feet are pressing down. And then back of hands together, rolling up. Elbows come together at the heart, the forearms touch, the palms touch. Feel the legs pressing against each other, the feet rooting down. Raise the arms up and open. Palms together, forearms together. And then coming all the way down. Looking forward, left leg back. Step back, back knee down. Just briefly line up the front knee and then lift the back leg. Engage fully. Sweeping the arms back, shoulders down, interlace the fingers, roll your shoulders out. Bend the back knee, push into the front foot, come all the way up. Getting nice and bouncy. Sliding your back foot forward and up. Make sure there's a bend in the right knee and then step back. Keep that bend in the back knee to begin with to allow the body to come forward halfway. Then straighten the back leg as the chest comes to rest onto the thigh. Chin tucks in, raising the arms overhead. Again, your option could be to have the back knee on the ground, so please adjust as much as you need to. Looking down, hands to lower back, looking forward, hands come down, come up into the balance. Looking back to the back toes, flex the foot, roll the back thigh in, look forward. We're looking forward from the heart. Bend the right knee, lift the back leg, sweeping the arms back. Looking down, hands come down, bend the left knee, left foot comes by right. Folding forward all the way down, hands to back of legs. Looking down to the toes, press the feet into the ground, back of hands together, rolling all the way up. Hands to heart. Find softness. Opening the eyes, raising the arms. Thumbs to the forehead, to the lips, to the heart. Folding forward all the way down. Gazing forward, left leg back. Step back, back knee down. Back toes stay tucked, front knee over front ankle. Sweeping the arms forward and up. We're using the breath. So again, this isn't a deep, the pelvis isn't sinking, it isn't a back bend. The ribs drawing in, tailbone down, and lifting up. As you exhale, the arms sweep forward, body comes forward, arms come behind, chin tucks in. Either stay or lift the back knee. Inhale, back knee to the ground, sweeping the arms forward, lift up. And again. You do this 3 times. You choose whether that back knee stays on the ground or you lift the back knee up. Using your breath, inhale to come forward and up. Exhale down. Looking forward now, hands come to the ground, back knee comes down. You are either planting the left hand or you staying up onto the fingertips. You also have a choice to keep your back knee on the ground or lift the back knee. We're opening to the right, raising the right arm, opening the upper right chest. As you exhale, looking down, sweeping that right arm down, the right hand and right arm comes under the right thigh, right fingertips touch onto the left ribs. Inhale, open. Exhale, folding down, fingertips touch the ribs, last time. Looking down to the toes, plant the hands, step back, full plank. Knees to the ground, we'll keep the toes tucked under this time. Kneeling chaturanga, stay or come all the way to the ground or lift the knees, full chaturanga dandasana, now coming down. Coming to classic Bhujangasana, unless the other variations are more comfortable in your body. Spreading the fingers, hands under shoulders, legs stay as they are or they go nice and wide. Inhale to come up. Shoulders draw down, elbows squeeze in. Exhale down. Hands back by lower ribs, elbows squeeze in, shoulders forward, belly lifts. Either kneel in plank or straight to full plank. Downward facing dog. Bringing the big toes to touch. This time we'll take the left leg up and back, and then stepping the left foot forward. And then this time the right palm can come to the ground or the right fingertips. Front knee is over directly, the front ankle, back knee is either on or off the ground. We're inhaling, opening. Exhaling, left arm comes under the left thigh. You're looking down, left fingers onto the ribs. And again. Looking down now, both hands down, back knee down. Inhale, sweeping the arms forward. Exhale, coming forward and down. Either knee stays on the ground or you lift the knee off the ground. Fully extend the leg. And again, twice more. Looking down, plant the hands, plank. Choice to bring the knees to the ground or tops of the toes, shoulders come forward. Elbows squeeze in, come all the way down or stop in Chaturanga. Either come to Cobra or come over the toes, upward facing dog. Shoulders draw back, heart draws forward. Lift between the shoulders, lengthen the lower back, come up to plank, either through kneeling or full plank, downward facing dog. We'll come into classic Malasana, knees to the ground together, feet together, hips back to heels, palms face up, forehead to the ground. Taking the forehead off the ground, take the hands out in front, come up to kneeling plank, full plank, downward facing dog. And then looking forward and walking the feet forward all the way to the top of the mat. Bringing your feet hip distance, pressing the feet into the ground, rolling all the way up. Hands to prayer. Elbows wide. Remember, engage in the legs. There's length in the lower back. Hips are coming forward. We're twisting to the right. Stay looking forward. Extending the arms just like we did opening the practice. Right hip forward. And then open the twist. Bring the right hip back. Just stay there for a couple of breaths. And then left arm stays where it is. Right arm sweeps forward, right arm under left. Hands to shoulders, just touch briefly, and then Garudasana. And then we're sitting down, as if into Utkatasana. Lifting the right heel so the weight comes onto the left foot. We're crossing the right leg over the left, toes come to the ground, stay or bind. And then releasing the bind, step in the right leg back. Back heel turns out, toes turn forward, bend in the front knee. We're bringing that right shoulder forward. See, the front knee is over the front ankle, you're engaging the front foot, back leg is strong and straight. Going to bring the elbows into the heart so you're rounding in the upper back first. So we're going to roll down by curling in, all the way in. To where feels good for you, maybe the shoulder comes all the way to the inside of the knee, maybe it doesn't. And then curling up exactly the same way, staying close. Unrolling the spine from the lower, the middle, and then the upper. And now this time we're going to come forward with the spine extended. Pushing down into the front foot. The shoulder comes to the inside or towards the inside of the left knee. Looking forward, swinging, a little swing of the elbows forward to come all the way up, you're pressing the feet down. And then releasing the right arm, coming to Bhujangasana 2. Shoulders draw down. Lengthen the lower back, pelvis comes forward, hips come forward and up. Use the front inner heel to draw in to keep that knee tracking over the ankle under the hip. See that both arms are the same height and you're reaching them away from each other. Try not to come forward. Keep the spine centered. Reverse warrior. Come back to warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Bend in the elbow, forearm to rest onto the thigh. Turn the left palm up. Sweep the right arm down and forward. Use this front forearm to press into the thigh to create more space. Turn the belly to the right, chest to the right. Roll the right shoulder out so the palm faces to the left. Push down into the back foot to reach up and out through the right fingers. Using that front foot. Side angle pose.
Now it's not a back bend, so you're not letting the ribs stick out or the bottom stick out. So bring that left hip in and under. Ribs draw in. Sweeping that right arm down, come back up to Virabhadrasana 2. And again, Utthita Parsvakonasana. This time we're looking down, bringing the right hand down, coming up onto the ball of the right foot. Left hand to right shoulder to the left, raise the left arm. Lift the belly, twist the belly, soften the belly, breathe into the twist. Back knee can be on the ground, or if the knee's off the ground, extend fully. Looking down to the left toes, left hand to left shoulder, square the shoulder down. Left hand comes to the ground, turn the right heel in. You can either keep that left hand on the ground, fingertips or palm, or you come back up to the forearm resting on the thigh. Back to Utthita Parsvakonasana. Looking down, right hand comes down, once more onto the ball of the back foot and once more into the twist. Looking down, left hand to left shoulder, square the shoulder down. Hands come down, step back, downward facing dog. And then choose to stay here, to come down to Malasana, or come through a vinyasa. Either come all the way down, come to cobra, or come to up dog. Back through plank, downward facing dog when you're ready. Lifting the heels, bending the knees, look forward. Lightly come to the top of the mat. It could be walking, stepping, jumping, but can it be light? Fingertips onto the shins, extend the spine, bend the knees, folding forward. Looking down to the toes, back and hands together, rolling all the way up. Hands to heart. And again, we take the feet hip distance. So again, you can measure this. Fingertips to touch, elbows wide, twisting to the left, extending the arms, shoulders down, left hip forward. And then bringing the left hip back, follow with your gaze all the way to the mat behind you. Right arm stays where it is, sweep the left arm forward, come back to center. Hands to shoulders, binding Garudasana. We're coming down into a version of Utkatasana just to give us that platform with the knees bent to come into Garudasana. Weight onto the right leg, lift the left heel. Step the left leg over to the right, toes to the ground, or straight away bind, wrapping that left foot around the right leg. Keep lifting the elbows, drawing the hands forward, and then unbind. Stepping back. It's the equivalent of 3 steps. Your back heel is turned out, your toes are turned forward, so your left hip can come forward. Bend in that front knee, bring the left shoulder forward. And then we're curling in to roll all the way down. Bringing that right shoulder to the inside of the right knee or in that direction. We keep the legs in, warrior legs, so that front knee bend. And then keep curling in as you roll up. So keeping close to the upper body. And then this time, looking forward, press into the back foot, down into the front heel. Keep the spine extended as you come forward. And then swinging the elbows forward, pressing down into the feet, come all the way back up. And then releasing the bind, the left arm sweeps down and back, come into Virabhadrasana 2. Shoulders down, left hip forward so it becomes a twist. Press into that front heel, lengthen the lower back, look over your right middle finger. And then a brief reverse warrior. Turn the palm up, raise the arm, left fingers reach back, either look up to the hand or look behind you. Come back to Bhujangasana 2, Utthita Parsvakonasana. Find the opening, find the support, and then the length down the left side of the body. You're rolling that shoulder out so the palm is facing to the right. You're either looking in under the armpit or up to the hand. You're using that forearm pressing down, creating space here. You lift up away from the thigh. Looking down to the right toes, left hand comes down, come up onto the ball of the back foot and twist. Back knee on or off the ground. If the knee's off, engage the leg. Lift the belly, twist, soften the belly, breathe. Looking down, right hand to right shoulder, right hand comes down. Turn the back heel in, foot to the ground. Either come back to the forearm version, Parsvakonasana, or the fingers or the palm comes to the ground. Let there be connection with the outer knee and the inner arm, sweeping the left arm forward. The right hip's coming in and under. Looking down, left hand to left shoulder, come up onto the ball of the back foot, step back, downward facing dog. So you're either staying here, coming down into Malasana, or coming through a vinyasa. Once you come back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, taking one full breath, and then coming down into Malasana. Either knees wide or knees together, forearms out in front or down by the sides of the body. Taking the forehead off the ground, come back up to kneeling plank, tucking the toes, hips back to heels, downward facing dog. Lifting the heels, bending the knees, look forward, stepping the right foot forward. Back of hands together, come up to a lunge. Hands to prayer at the heart, elbows wide. At any time you wish, you bring this back knee to the ground. We're twisting over the right side, bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Right hand sits on top. Lifting the belly, twist into the right. Looking down to the right toes. If the knee's on the ground, lift the knee off the ground. Bend the back knee, step forward. So we're into a twisted Utkatasana, Parvrita Utkatasana. Hips are down, twist into the right. Looking down to the toes, undo the twist. Sweeping the arms forward, full Utkatasana. And then hands to prayer, hands to heart, twist into the left. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee, left hand sits on top to rotate the body. Press the left hand down to the right. See that the knees line up, the ankles line up, the sitting bones line up.
Looking down, undo the twist. Bring the hands down and then lengthen the legs, gazing forward. Folding forward, we're bending the right knee, taking the right leg back, taking the right leg over to the left, and then sitting down into Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. You want to see there's enough space for that left hip to draw down. If this is uncomfortable or doesn't feel like an option, then extend the right leg. Walk the foot in, sit tall. Otherwise, we're bending that right knee. Just hold on 1 second. Now you're pressing wherever you are, the inner left foot. The walking that right foot away from that left sitting bone if you're in the cross. So there's somewhere for that left sitting bone to go down. Now if we let the inner left foot come off the ground, we just fall out of this. So we want to use the inner ball of foot and the heel to keep this knee tracking across to help us twist. Fingertips to touch, looking forward, twist to your left. Left hand comes behind you. The right elbow wraps around that left knee, or if you wish, the hand comes to the outside, maybe the arm to the ground. So it's entirely up to you. You do what works for you. This can feel nice because you're hugging the chest and thigh together, but it depends what you want from this twist and how you feel right now. Lifting the left ear, look over the left shoulder. Let the back hand support you, so don't let it be too far away. Lifting the right ear, look back to center. Hands come to prayer and do the twist. We'll do a counter twist. The right hand comes behind, the left hand can come onto the left foot, lift the right ear, look over the right shoulder. And then look back to center and undo. If the right knee is bent, extend the leg. And then we're bringing the left foot to the inside. Lifting up off the sitting bones, bringing the weight forward, bringing the left arm forward to the inside of the left knee. Rolling the left thigh in and sitting back down. Taking the right arm out to the side, palm face down, rolling the shoulder in and back, coming into the bind. Either taking hold of the wrist or the fingers. Now, if you're a long way away, you can take hold of a belt, a scarf, anything that can give you, maybe your jumper, and you can hold on to, with each hand onto the jumper, just a little bit of support to feel this opening. And then release and bring the hands into prayer. And again, this variation can be a nice place to start, to get used to bringing your elbow forward and you flexing the foot. And then release, extend the leg. We're bending the knees, crossing at the ankles, hands come onto the tops of the feet, bring the feet in and under. Step back, down facing dog. Either stay or come through a vinyasa. We're lifting the heels, bending the knees, looking forward, stepping the right foot forward. Walk the right foot over to the left and bring the left knee in and sit down. Again, you modify how you need to, maybe extending that left leg, or maybe keeping it into Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Pressing into the inner foot, sitting nice and tall, hands onto the shin to begin with. Fingers in front of the heart, stay looking forward, twist to the right. Right hand comes behind you to support you, either wrap, elbow to the outside, or the hand comes down if it rests comfortably onto the thigh. Lift the right heel, look over the right shoulder. Feel the breath in the belly in the twist. And when we twist, it's a really lovely way to strengthen the spine, but also the muscles that support the spine. Lifting the left ear, look back to center, hands to prayer, undo the twist. We'll do a very short counter twist to the left. Right hand comes down onto the right foot, lifting the left ear, look over the left shoulder. Looking back to center, undo. Extending the left leg, come back. Bringing that right foot to the inside, lifting up to come forward. Again, this could be your beginning of coming into this posture. Otherwise, we come forward, we take that right shoulder forward, rolling the right shoulder in, sitting back, left palm faces down, bring the arm back, roll the shoulder in, and then take hold of the fingers or take hold of the wrist. And then you're bringing that left shoulder forward, that right shoulder back, looking forward. And we're just going to stay here for now. Feel the right footprint. And then very slowly, we're releasing that left hand first, keeping that right arm connected to the right inner knee, hands to prayer. And then slowly release, extend the leg, bend the knees, come through a vinyasa or come straight back to either Svanasana or down to Malasana. Coming into Collapsible Asana, knees together, feet together, coming all the way down. Staying there now for a few breaths. Pressing the hands down, palms face down either side of the knees, roll all the way up. Coming over to the right side, taking the legs out in front and coming into a longer version of Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're not having the feet in by the sitting bones, we're taking them wide. So it's a big diamond shape. And this is called Amiga. The soles of the feet are touching. Sitting nice and tall, fingertips to touch. And stay looking forward and come forward halfway. And then just see maybe if your upper body can come forward a little bit more without rounding. So stay looking forward and then bring the hands down. Feet are pressing against each other. Feel your breath and then walking the hands maybe a little bit further forward. Let the chin tuck in, but that's all. Don't round in the upper back. Don't curl in. And just breathe evenly. The full in-breath, a full out-breath. And then stay here or taking the arms underneath the legs, either palms down or palms face up. You also have an option to bring the hands around the feet. Shin tucks in and now round forward, curling in. Chin tucks in. So coming into this forward bend with a surrender. And then bringing the gaze forward, taking the hands from under the legs if that's where they were. Coming up onto your fingertips. Sliding the hands in, slide the hands up to the legs, to the outer knees, bringing the knees together. Coming forward, bring the hips towards the heels. Coming onto the forearms and coming to lying down. We'll bring the feet wide and the knees touch, so we come into constructive rest position. Hands can be on the body or down by the sides. And if it feels good, you can just rock your pelvis forward and back just a couple of times until you find that really supportive place for your lower back. You'll feel the knees will press in against each other a little bit more, and then if everybody presses into their feet, it'll help you find that place. So when we come into constructive rest, it's a position that will allow us and support us to deeply rest without, say, falling asleep, and with this support of the feet, the knees, and then that gravity down through the lower back, feeling the ground, the solidness of it beneath you. And then separating the knees, you can take the arms wide, you can take them back behind you into cactus, or wherever is comfortable. Both knees come over to the left side. Now, if you wish, that left foot can come on top of the right knee, just for some extra weight. If it doesn't feel comfortable, keep the left foot on the ground. If you wish, your head can turn in the opposite direction of the knees, but only if it feels good. If the head is turned to the right, bring it back to center, bring the knees to center. Taking the knees over to the other side, again, you deciding whether you want that right foot on top of the left knee. Is it a benefit? Does it feel good in your body? And if it doesn't, then take the right foot down. Option to turn your gaze, your head to the left, and then close the eyes. Head back to center, releasing the right foot down, knees come back up. Now this time we'll bring the knees into the chest, hands around the shins, a gentle ease across the back as you move from side to side. Hands onto top of knees, rocking knees forward and back. And then making circles with the knees. Come in the other direction. And then slowly bringing the feet to the ground. And coming all the way into your Shavasana. Shavasana is what feels good in your body. It can be classic Shavasana. There is nothing to do but legs wide, feet fall out to the side, palms face up, elbows draw in, and a gentle tuck under the shoulders. That is it. However, if you have any issues in your lower back, then please bend the knees. You can bring a pillow or cushions to place under the knees. Maybe Supta Baddha Konasana is a really nice option for you. Again, you can place support underneath the thigh and the calf. If you have something to cover over your eyes, then that's a lovely option, a blanket. But maybe you don't need any of those. So really feel into and move into what feels right. If you have more time, you can always press pause and stay here. Otherwise, you begin to invite your awareness back into your body. And as you become more aware of your breathing, bring your movement to your fingers and to your toes. Taking your arms overhead to the ground behind you. And getting nice and long, reaching up and out through the fingers, down and out through the tops of your toes. And then bending your knees, bringing the soles of your feet to the ground. Bringing your left hand to rest onto your belly. Rolling over onto your right side. And then in your own time, bringing yourself up to a comfortable kneeling or seated position. Now, depending on what you're practicing, you can sit on a chair, you can sit on the edge of your bed. And bringing yourself to stillness. With your eyes closed, let your face feel soft. Allow your hands to gently rest onto your thighs,
and soften your shoulders down. Bringing your fingertips to touch your heart. We close with Padma Namaskar. First one guided, second one together in silence. So we begin by taking the arms wide. Thumbs and index fingers touch for your shoulders in, bring back of hands together. Thumbs in towards your collarbones, reaching your arms up and opening all the way down into Padma, big lotus flower. Thumbs and index fingers touch for your shoulders in, back of hands together, thumbs to the belly and offering out from your heart. And again. And holding this offering at your heart. And being grateful for choosing to give your time to yourself to practice. Being grateful for this time to move, but also to sit and to observe yourself with kindness. And then as you move into the rest of your day, or your evening, or your weekend, that same kindness is reflected from you to those that you are in contact with, whether in person or virtually. That kindness can be felt. Bringing the palms together, hands to your heart, and a big, deep bow to yourself with that same kindness and also with respect. Namaste. I wish you joy in your practice and that you practice with compassion, non-judgment, and just with an openness to feel where you are at that time, in that moment, and not how you practiced previously or how you want to practice, but embracing and also practicing enoughness. How I am right now is enough. Namaste.